Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You've been in the storm. If you feel you've been in the storm too long, you're in the right place. Tonight, I am not going to be uh, Imhotep. No. Imhotep has sent his blessings to you in a way in which you can't understand or imagine. There is a young woman that was healed, and no one can convince us that she was not healed without any instrumentation or anything. Tonight, we'd like to thank all of you around the world who have supported this position of cleansing. And please understand that there is nothing in this world that a man would not do for a woman, providing that she offered him forgiveness. Forgiveness. You see, the greatest gift that a man can receive is forgiveness. We're going to hold on to that thought. If you look in my ear right now, I'm going live, Starlink, on the 90th parallel. It's simple instrumentation. But I'm calling you here tonight because I want you to know that you must come on. If you see my face, you must come on. If this broadcast is being hacked, it doesn't matter because Facebook cannot pay what it owes. Many of you know me as OG Mac. Many of you know me as Dante, Kasikimui Amira, Imhotep. There's a woman that's healed today. It's a process, of course, when you're accessing a certain dynamics of the human body. Of course, the resistance is the negativity in the food. But I will say that the woman is more than likely, her body is cleansing itself. And the first sign of cleansing is the urine. I think right now she's feeling great. I think that she's been bombarded with a lot of phone calls. I believe that she's a little bit shook up a little bit because the way she's feeling and the attention she's getting. And of course, the negative drawback for those who don't want to broadcast this, which is going viral. Facebook has no alternative to broadcast it because Facebook owes the Matthews trademark trade name $2 billion for over 2 years, and they can't pay it. They can't pay it because it's to the 10th power. So I'm talking to you as one of the people of the Emancipation Proclamation. Under international law, I operate and have my being. I just want to thank everyone that supported me and everyone that came on, man, because this is the greatest day of your life. Whatever you're going through, whatever situation you're going through, or circumstance that you may not get clarity on, be rest assured today, at this time, you will get clarity. I'm here to heal, and I have been healing. And I want you to understand something, that whatever you're going through, you can overcome it because the power has already been granted to you. If you've crossed my path at any point in my life and you've known that I've been a progressive individual to move forward and let nothing stand in my way, then you know the power is coming through this line. Many of you don't understand that Donald Trump just signed the Fentanyl Halt Act. That's the greatest double cross of all time because anyone can be double crossed under that act. Okay, if your name came up in some kind of bogus, questionable set of circumstances, that's enough to justify them to at least detain you and question you even further, because now they're moving forward because they got to fill up them jails, yo. But I'm not gonna let them do it to my people. You're not gonna bum rush my community with that Ronald Reagan war on crime or Bill Clinton, the 3 strikes law. You know, they all came up with their hocus pocus, but not today. Okay, you have to find someone else. You're not going to pick on the Latino. You're not going to pick on the Black. You're not going to pick on the Chinese. You're not going to pick on any third world nation, yo, with this bogus act. And the only reason why Donald Trump came up with this act, and it was unanimous, like overnight. When I posted that I would heal that woman, and the first thing she said was that it was a result of tobacco. Well, I never said who was responsible. I just said that you would be cleansed and healed. Okay. And nobody in the world has done this. No one in the world would attempt nothing like this. Okay? And no one has come back to me within a 24-hour period of time and said, hey, OG Mac or whatever your name is, you're a fraud. You're a liar. You can't do nothing. Everything you said was untrue. See, they won't do that. And I see my son there, Sterling Dawson. I love you, man. Your music is going to take off from this day forward, man. You're the hottest thing out there. With your name, you're the first name on this live feed of a man that healed a woman, and that the powers that be are scared to death because of evolution. We're evolving. And I'm telling you, my son, Sterling, man, listen, your name is going to be a household name, bro. You can say you can communicate any message, and it's gold. And that's on my honor. Because I love you, and you know I love you. You know what I went through, and you know you saw me stand in the gap. You know what I mean? It wasn't nice what they did to my people, but yo, I fought them. And they knew they was in a fight. And they know that I'm not just some hocus pocus Negro that they can just say anything about or do anything they want to. They're afraid right now. They're very afraid. I have a video on my platform. It's the only one of its kind, and they cannot reproduce it, man. They can't reproduce it. The Chinese, it went up for bidding. All I can say is that the bidding went up to like $1.5 trillion, yo. They're upset at the fact that Aliko Dango, who's the wealthiest man in Nigeria, is my friend. 2 years ago, I was proposing a deal with him for $1.5 trillion in Montana. I told Elon Musk not to put no plant in Texas. Donald Trump is double-crossing everybody right now with this whole act. Double-crossing everybody. But it's not going to work. See? Donald Trump has forgotten who put him in office. If you go to my Twitter page, you'll see that I'm the only person on the planet that said that Donald Trump would win. Not only that Elon Musk would endorse him. And once Elon Musk did that, it would be a landslide. Okay? I'm not going to tell you what the odds of Vegas was, because Vegas should just turn over the check, but I'll donate the check to the poor. I don't want the money. See? And the fact of the matter is he won. Because Elon Musk was supposed to endorse him in July, but he waited until just before the election because, you know, they couldn't have some old black Negro on Twitter talking about who's going to win the election, and it comes just the way he said it. And let's get back to Cat Williams. Everything that Cat Williams said on What's the Name show just about and dealing with all falsehood would be revealed came from me. And now I'm going to get to the highlight of the matter. I called you all here to heal you, to cleanse you, whether you want to or not. I'm going to give you a frequency from with AI. I want you to hear something and listen to what AI said. AI said that was the alpha male wolf, gray wolf. And it also said that that sound could be heard 20 miles away. But I like to correct AI because I believe that AI is flawed. You see, AI cannot compute absolutes. For example, if you're listening to me and you're breathing, science says you're alive. That's an absolute. And what condition you may be in is another thing. You know, you could be in a wheelchair, whatever. But science says that you're alive. That's an absolute. And an absolute cannot be disputed in any court of law. So when I healed that woman, that's an absolute. I challenged AI. I asked it a question that it could not answer. And if it did not answer that question, it would default and prove that I'm smarter than AI, Gemini on Google. But that sound you heard was the sound of a wolf. And it tried to confuse me into believing that these animals don't communicate, that they're just howling in the wind. That's not true. Right now, your children are different. Let them express themselves. They're entering into another frequency. They're very smart. They're intelligent. They're doing things that is amazing you. It may seem to be a little bit more than you can handle, but don't discourage them, providing that they're doing the right things by honoring mommy and daddy. I'm calling out love today. I'm here to give you love and healing. Whatever you're going through in your homes right now, no matter what it is, connect with that frequency. Digest it. Understand that you're more than what they say. And you're more than what they feel you deserve. They have to release the funds. They have to give you back what they stole. I'm going into court tomorrow, country. I'm going to court, but it's not just any regular court. It's international court, because they're going to have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And I'm going pro se tomorrow. I'm representing myself as a rabbi. That a rabbi got treated like a terrorist on a train, harassed and humiliated and strip searched and robbed because of someone who is the enemy to righteousness, who's the enemy of a Jew, and I'm a Jew, and I was disrespected. I was dishonored. I was treated like trash. I was treated like trash. I had no weapons on me. They tried to concoct some story. And the individual who gave the false statement is completely erroneous. And I'm here to tell you why. This is what they're going to have to prove tomorrow. Under the law, it says that a person who uses a credit card or a debit card to pay for services on the Long Island Railroad, you know that that card is stolen. You know those cards are stolen. Then you're stealing the services and you deserve to be arrested. Well, here's the problem with that. They have to prove that my New York State ID is a credit card. They are going to have to prove that my New York State ID is a credit card. That's what they got to prove. They're not going to want to do that. They also be bewildered at the fact that I have a contract with the Long Island Railroad. So why wasn't my contract honored? The Long Island Railroad sent me mail to the wrong address. That's not my fault. They knew the correct address. I gave it to them verbally. If they didn't type it in, that's not my problem. But I have contracts here where the Long Island Railroad agreed with me that I could pay them later. So I wasn't stealing services. But so they arrested me. The MTA treated me like trash. And then the individual that I believe who was the culprit in this whole matter spilled some kind of liquid underneath the train, underneath our seats, flooded the entire back, and got off before the police arrested me for nothing. And I'll tell you what happened. I went into Manhattan that day, dressed as a rabbi. I stopped off at Jimmy Breslin Way on East 42nd Street, and I hung out by Capital One Bank. They have a platform out there that's in the shape of a living room next to a hotel, who the manager I spoke to, because I've been there before. I left there. I walked 32 blocks from the Grand Central Station. I walked 32 blocks to a cathedral, which was not well lit. However, they had lights that went down into the cellar. I went down there. I went there because I was asked to marry a white woman, a very wealthy white woman on Fifth Avenue, and I refused. I refused because of my own personal reasons. However, the powers that be were very upset. And not only that, they locked my cards. I couldn't use my debit cards. So I said, well, hey, I got a contract with the Long Island Railroad. I'll ride home and pay them later. Well, it didn't go that way. I got on the Long Island Railroad. Well, here's the thing. I got to the Long Island Railroad. I got to Manhattan on the Long Island Railroad. How come coming back, I get arrested and get accused of having a gun on my possession when I didn't have a gun? And I'm dressed like a rabbi, and they didn't even know I was dressed like a rabbi. The police didn't know who I was. I said, I'm a Jew, I'm a rabbi. I told him where I came from. But here's the thing, I'm going to court tomorrow to settle that case. Also, the Department of Social Service is on the block. The Department of Social Service owes me thousands of dollars as I speak to you right now. And everyone in Long Island, in Nassau County. That's going to be disputed tomorrow because all of this is a part of the grand scheme to get around the great audit. And so now I call my ride. My ride's coming tomorrow, 8 o'clock. I guarantee there's not gonna be any vehicles in front of me. I'm gonna be fully escorted. And I know that when I get to Queens Boulevard, there's gonna be at least maybe 100,000 people out there, or close to it. The last time I went, there was about 40 police officers on the steps of the courthouse. Not for no trial. And so I'm going there, I'm gonna represent myself. I have a blind man for a lawyer. My wife is not going because she had made choices that are conducive to her. So I'll be going alone. But I want you to understand something, that the woman that I heal, she's healed. She's healed. She's healed. And I heal you, each and every one of you, whatever it is. That sound healed. There's power in that sound. The other day, AI says that a human being can only look at the sun for 9 minutes without looking away. They told me that the Guinness World Book record is almost 2 hours. It was an hour and some change. I can stare at the sun all night long and not blink. I think country can know that about my power of not blinking. But he never saw me not blink at the sun. I used to do that when I was out in the yard. I would look up at the sun and not blink. It doesn't hurt my eyes, it doesn't bother me. In fact, it lifts the veil. And it rejuvenates me. And look at my skin, it's glowing. Because I was looking at the sun today. They came in here and stole my reflective lenses. So tomorrow, I won't be wearing any sunglasses. Because people are afraid to look in my eye, country. They can't. They can't. They can't. And they know they can't. Because they don't want to see what's in there. But see, what I wanted to tell you is that what that girl discovered is that the eyes that you have in the front of your head, they do see. But there are eyes behind your eyes, and they see too. So when you close your eyes like this, your second set of eyes should be open wide shut. And you can see things, but you haven't been trained how to do it. And that takes time, but it can be done. And that girl did it. She didn't know she had the power to do it. And I'm telling you, country, you're going to blow up, man. You're going to blow up like the World Trade. Your name, listen right now, man, you're hot. They're hot. They have to go to your content because you're the only one with courage to come forward. They're afraid, country. They're afraid of OG Mac. They're afraid of Kasake Mui Amin Ra. They're afraid of all those personas. The Grandmaster Freemason of the highest order of the York and Scottish Rites. They're afraid. They should be, country, because you got power now. You got power. And don't take it lightly because the universe is paying close attention, country, to you, Sterling Dawson. It says Sterling Dawson is watching, and I'm going to bring them in the camera if I can do that. It wouldn't do that. It wouldn't let me add you, country, because the bogus, hey, it is what it is. But the fact of the matter is, country, you don't have to because I got you here. You can comment. You can say whatever you want to say. But I'm telling you today, you're in the green. I got a green dot. Green is from the house of Jade. That's wealth untold, my brother. I salute you, country, that you will go in peace today. And your whole life will change tomorrow. Because I love you, you know. And when you were there and nobody else was there for you, you took a chance on something that you didn't understand. And you stuck with it. And now you're a king. You're a king. You're not a pawn. And they have to submit to that, even where you're at right now. They're starting to look in your eyes different. You're going to know people not looking at you because you have the power. They're talking around you. But what you have to do is cut them from the point and say, hey, listen, cut the crap. What's up? Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Other than that, get out of my face. Don't waste my time. And stay away from my children. And stay away from my home. Do not bring sourness to my life because you don't want to receive what you should get for that. You're protected, country. You're guarded. You're sealed. And these people know it's happening. They're afraid, man. No preacher's going to get on here and talk about me about Jesus Christ, him crucified. No preacher. You know how many lives I saved here, man? In Jericho? You know? And now, I don't have a wife because my wife has abdicated her throne. But that's her problem. That's her problem. I'm going to heal 100 women, country. And I want these women to, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. If you do like I told that woman to do, you'll be healed too. And I'm not talking about if you're in a wheelchair and all of a sudden your legs are, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about internal pain, where there's a stain on your soul. Your soul needs cleansing. And once it's cleansed, there's nothing can hold you back. And that's why they're afraid of me, country. They had to come in here and attack me. They poisoned me. They did a lot of different things. They robbed me. I just got robbed of $1,000 in my own room. But tomorrow in that courthouse in Queens, it's not just regular court, it's international court. They don't want me going pro se. They don't want to have to prove, country, that a New York State driver's license or a New York State ID is a credit card. They got to prove that. They are effed. And I'm just putting it mildly. That's what the law says. They said I broke the law, then I gave them my driver's license. So they got to prove my driver's license was a credit card. And in fact, that's to say that it is. Not only that, if it is, that means that the card could not have been accessed because they didn't have clearance to do so. And they haven't provided any documentation to the otherwise. My battery's running low. I love you, country. You got the first dibs on this. I listen to your music. Listen, man, I support you behind the scenes, man. Reach out to Lil Wayne and them, bro. Reach out to Lil Wayne. Reach out to Lil Wayne. Reach out to Drake. Reach out to Snoop. Send your stuff to Snoop. Send it to him. Send it to him. Okay? Charleston White should get behind you. Send it to him too. He's from Texas. He got a rep. I love you. Peace and blessings. For those of y'all who failed to come on, the door is not closed. The door is not closed. Remember, you're only as good as you want to be. And now you can be anything you want to. Don't be afraid. The keys are here. I'm a gatekeeper. This is a key, not a cross. I love you. And tomorrow I'll broadcast the results of the court hearing. There's no way they're going to go to trial tomorrow. Impossible. Impossible. They want to go away quiet. But here's the thing. What I'm going to do. I'm going to go pro se, and I'm going to request that the media be present because I want to share my story with the entire media. I love you. Peace and blessings. And your country, you know what I know. I love you, brother. Bless your family for me. Peace.